Welcome students. Today we are discussing about a leader of opposition as topic because it's been after a decade that position is being filled. It's been filled not at mercy of the government but because a criteria has been fulfilled after a decade. Then what's the criteria that's been filled and what is importance of the post? What privileges would be given and what duties would be bestowed. Let's look at all these things throughout the video. So without any delay, let's start. So why was this post not filled or been vacant? Is it because the appointment is at mercy of the government? The answer would be probably not. To deep dive into it, we need to understand what's the criteria to determine leader of opposition. So, the first speaker of the parliament, the lower house, G.V. Mavlankar. This G.V. Mavlankar gave a formula about determining this leader of opposition. He felt to appoint leader of opposition as the leader of largest party with at least 10% of total seats. Remember this 10% was the formula that was deployed by G.V. Mavlankar. And does it have any statutory backing or not? Let's see that. Before that, why was it only 10%? If you look at that, the 10% criteria was deployed because to run the house, you need the quorum of 10%. Which means the leader of opposition, if he has his own party members who could fill the quorum, that means they can run the house even without the ruling party members being present in the house. So this 10% was formulated with that logic. If it's clear, then let's look at the scenario, whether it's statutory, whether it's constitutional, or does it have any backing. So for the question, is it constitutional? No. Leader of opposition party is not constitutional post. Not constitutional. But whether the recognition has some kind of emoluments, some kind of privileges, and whether it is recognized by any law. If that question is posed, then we have an answer. This is an act by name Salaries and Emoluments Act. Salaries and Emoluments of Members of Parliament Act. This act has been recently amended again in 2020. This determines or recognizes the position of leader of opposition, for which he would be given certain more emoluments. So those privileges include a cabinet rank. So the cabinet rank facilities are given to this particular person, he or she who is appointed as leader of opposition. So if it's appointed that way and given these privileges, then will privileges come without any extra burden or extra duty to perform? The answer would be no. So then, what are the extra duties? If you look at that, it should not be an executive appointment. It should be a parliamentary appointment for certain posts of integrity. There are few institutions where integrity matters. So these integrity institutions, for example, you need an election commissioner. You need people who are part of judiciary. Maybe the often controversial institutions like ED, which has Enforcement Directorate, which has its staff with CBI Director, all these people who come under integrity institutions find a selection committee of which this leader of opposition party in the lower house would be member. So this leader of opposition would be member of selection committee. Along with this, he also has another mechanism to fix accountability, to fix the accountability of the government or executive, for which leader of opposition has been conventionally head of a particular committee. So, Public Accounts Committee. Public Account Committee. This is ready to fix the accountability of the funds utilized and which is audited by CAG. So, and this Public Accounts Committee is usually headed by leader of opposition. So this is an important duty which he performs. So it's broadly a representative of the opposition who fixes accountability of executive, which is the prime phenomena or prime feature of Indian parliamentary system. So the parliamentary democracy functions better if you have a robust system of determining leader of opposition, and if it's strong enough, then there are enough checks and balances. If this is clear, then I would ask you a simple question for which you can mention answer in the comments. The question is, CAG, Comptroller Auditor General, he would submit his annual report to a particular committee. That particular committee would analyze, take help of this CAG and put forth the report before the table of lower house. Please mention in the comments which committee, which financial committee we are referring to and who will be heading that committee. Hope today's information was very much useful to you, and with another day and with informative video, I'll be back before you. Till then, bye.